r/AskReddit. Parents who have checked their child's internet history. What is the weirdest or most ducked up thing you found on it? My son is 16 now, so this was about 4 years ago. I had got a new tablet, and he had gotten in the habit of taking it into his room to play games on. I got curious one day and looked at the search history. Pokemon cheat code. Halo map. Big boobies. Peensuck. Minecraft. It was such an odd mix I had to laugh. I bookmarked some sites that he could look at that weren't hardcore porn, see swimsuit site, etc. I'll let him know he could look at these, and it was okay. The last few years he's had his own laptop and I really don't even bother anymore. Trying to control a teenage boy's masturbatory habits is the definition of fighting a losing battle. You're a pretty cool parent. Yeah, my parents bought me an account to a porn website when I was a teenager, so I didn't ruin my computer. The fact that his internet history is clear. He knows how to use incognito mode. I thought incognito mode was only for hackers. How can you get hard when a man is sitting in the corner watching you touch yourself? Not a parent story, but close enough. Used to be the ed department for a kinda through 5th grade school. Once we actually received a budget to purchase laptops for the classrooms. I was tasked with imaging them all, and also implementing a web content filter, which we hadn't had previously, since it was before students had computer access. Well, I wanted to make sure my filter was working well. So naturally, I test it. My go-to site is always boobs.com, because it's relatively benign, or it was. Haven't checked it in 10 years, and it should always trigger a filter. It gets blocked. Filter works. Life is good. I deliver laptops to the classrooms and go about my job as usual. A few months later, a teacher comes ripping down into my office holding a laptop, breathlessly yelling, "We have a problem. The kids are systematically trying to bypass the filter." I'm like, whoa. How do you know? I've checked 10 machines now, and every one of them has boobs.com in the search history. As soon as she said it, I realized my mistake. I used the first laptop to check the filter, which happened to be the laptop I used to create the donor image that I then cloned onto every other laptop in the school. I successfully put boobs.com as the only address in the search history on every school computer. You're welcome. Parents, we have a problem. Students are trying to bypass the filter. Did it work? Well, no. Also true. That filter was rock solid. My 10-year-old googled exifagina. His spelling is atrocious. He could have been looking up a lot of vagina from Austin Powers. She was quite exy. When I was in 1st grade I watched Austin Powers in our hotel while on vacation. And the whole time back in the airport and on the plane I kept whispering a lot of vagina to myself because I thought it sounded pretty. My dad was definitely humiliated when the flight attendant heard me say it. I received my first computer when I was 15. Before that, my only interaction with the internet was when I visited my older, married sister during the summer. My first experience with the internet was when I was 12. I visited my sister and she left me alone in the house for the day while she and my bill worked. My parents did that all the time. It was cool. That night when he got home my bill sat me down. He had a little smirk on his face. He thought he caught me red-handed. "Did you know my computer keeps a record of the websites you visit?" No, I didn't. He proceeds to pull up his internet history and sees 9 hours of activity of animorphs. Searching for animorph websites, posting in animorph forums, reading about animorphs, reading animorph fanfiction, looking at animorph fan art. Just animorphs. My guess is he expected me to look up porn, and instead of telling me not to do it ahead of time he thought it was fair and reasonable to bust my balls after the fact and humiliate me. But duck that doucher bag. Animorphs is where it's at. I'll shame this young child entering puberty about his growing Excel curiosity. That'll show him. Ha ha ha. A friend's younger brother was starting to get to that age. I think 11 or so. Their family computer kept getting infected with viruses and whatnot. Parents wouldn't do much about it until they found how big is a vagina in the Google search and they decided to sit him down for a little exhibition. Cracks me up every time. Vajayal mayo. 5-year-old looked up on YouTube when I wasn't around for Fijina videos and peep videos. And he didn't mean rare peps. What the duck is with all these frogs? Oh hit wad up. Not parent but cousin. Little cousin had tab open called how to get revenge. This wikahow.com/get revenge on anyone comes up when you search that. PT1 is a list of the lamest revenge suggestions ever. PT2 is just as lame. PT3 jumps off a cliff from lame kill them with kindness type of stuff to things like bully them, harass them, hide dead shrimp in their room, send them things anonymously to make them think they have a stalker by sending creepy flowers and stuff with messages like your backyard was fun to sleep in last night. Post their information in public places so they'll get harassed by strangers. Publicly humiliate them. That how to knocks it up quite a bit from PT2 to PT3. My friend's kid searched on cows pooping and apparently watched many YouTube videos of cows pooping. I heard my son saying to Siri, "Siri, show me videos of hippos pooping." A minute later I hear dubstep coming from the iPad. Siri had given him a video of hippos pooping set to dubstep. I know what Siri and I are doing when I get out of class. Edit, bullhit. Siri says no match found. I had such high hopes. Edit 2. I tried again with hippos pooping to dubstep and my phone started FaceTime with one of my sister's best friends. Name Spencer. If that helps. While I'm pooping. It didn't even ask for a confirmation or anything. It's time to stop. Edit 3. Now that I'm no longer in a compromising position. Me, hippos pooping dubstep. Siri, now playing music by Queens of the Stone Age. Me, hippos pause pooping pause dubstep. Siri, now playing music by Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Me, hippopotamus pooping YouTube. Siri, now playing music by U2. My son looked up screaming ducking itches. He was 11 at the time. Not ordinary ducking itches. The screaming kind. That almost sounds like it could be the title of a really bad, or really good, B-movie. Or a GRRL band. I caught my 8-year-old brother looking up. Naked 8-year-old. Naked 8-year-old with boobs. Naked 8-year-old pretty. And my personal favorite. Naked 8-year-old ugly. He's 10 now and doesn't know I seen anything. Had I been older, I probably would talk to him about it. But I was a pretty naive 16-year-old. So I just deleted his history. I check his history now from time to time though. I hope listing his searches didn't put me on any list. Lol. To be fair, the government probably realized that kids do this by now. And so knows how to ignore which times are obviously kids. So that's how you surpass anti-pedophile measures. You just make it seem like you're a 8-year-old boy. My kids have an old Android phone of mine that we let them play games on. My son is 4 and managed to figure out how to use a Google voice search. He went and hid in his room and searched for YouTube videos on how to grow up. This is adorable. I searched boob when I was younger on the family computer and we were all called over to figure out which one of me and my siblings did it. My older brother got the blame as he was the only boy. Sorry bro. It was me. Just the one. What about the other? No thank you. I've had enough. Well I'm sure my dad was disappointed by bigtitsroundases.com. Judging by the fact that he couldn't look at me when he told me not to go to those sites. Edit, laughing my ass off at how many people actually went to that site too. I think I literally googled porn when I was 11. And that was one of the first results. My dad installed a blocker that I quickly found a way around. Masturbation. Man's greatest motivation to overcome anything. I've deleted history so many times I don't even know who the Romans were. My 6-year-old is into My Little Pony and Undertale stuff on YouTube. Every so often I'll have to stop a video where some neckbed takes the subject to uncomfortable levels. I can explain sexuality, violence, etc. But how do you explain a grown man spending 15 minutes rendering Rainbow Dash's anus while listening to J-pop? How do you explain Sans and Papyrus making out and holding bones with blushy faces and hearts? I've taken a very realistic approach towards parenting and telling my daughters the facts of life. Santa isn't real. Dragons and unicorns are make-believe. but some hit on the internet is extremely difficult to explain. Edit. I get that Undertale isn't considered a kid's game. That doesn't mean it doesn't have many things in it that are appealing and humorous to kids. Also, growing up, many games that were considered above my age group made an extremely positive impact on me. Xenogears, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy Tactics, etc. The deeper concepts kept me intrigued and filled me with determination. Pretty sad when a kid can't enjoy something that was created for the purpose of entertaining them because weird adults take it upon themselves to ruin it. So glad when I was a kid nobody came out and started wanting to duck Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab. Or well, they probably did, but thankfully there wasn't such a platform to express it. Edit. I know there may well have been platforms for it back in the day, but it would have been nowhere near as prevalent. /u/Casham said below, Zootopia was ravaged instantly by weird Rule 34 fan fiction hit, and it's just a little bit sad really. Now it isn't so much having to specifically look for it as much as it is having to actively try to avoid it. Just seems wrong to me. Edit 2. To the people saying I need to protect my kids better and hit like that. I'm in my early 20s and I don't have any kids. I'm allowed to think that it's odd for adults to find animations of furry animals attractive. Seems very odd to me. Don't even get started on Zootopia. The furries were all over that from the start when Disney showed the characters. First few pics on Google search were R34 pics. Not my kids. But when I was in high school my best friend and I went through his little brother's computer. To my amazement, in a week he had gone from simple boob searches on Google to finding hardcore bestiality. And there wasn't just one site. There were several over 2 days. We clicked on the first one and both of us started to gag and didn't check any others out. We decided not to throw him under the bus to his parents. But as we all played Halo, after we kept making knowledges for anything negative that happened to animal porn, we were dying by the end of it. And little bro just laughed uncomfortably. Never found it on his comp again. But he may have just cleared his history from then on. Surprised it took this long to find the bestiality story in this discussion. My sister doesn't use Reddit. My kid looked up Ruth Ginsburg naked, Clinton naked, Hillary Clinton naked, followed by SpongeBob. Lyrics Life on Mars, ending with Condoleezza Rice naked. Needless to say there was no more internet for her. Still trying to figure out why she wanted to see those people of all people naked. But we can't talk about that. Too weird. Good old Condoleezza. I looked at the internet history on the home computer to find how to fist people. I confronted my son about it and he told me that somebody upset him at school and he wanted to fist him. He got suspended from school the next day for fisting a kid in the face. I laughed continuously for the next 10 minutes thereafter. Edit. My top comment has to do with kids fisting each other. Well done, Reddit. When I was 13 my friend really excitedly ran up to me and told me he fisted a bully in his class. I couldn't stop laughing for weeks. My daughter is only 7 years old. So nothing so far. But about 10 years ago I was using my EXS little brother's laptop for a few days. Checked his search history and found a few weird things. He must have only been around 15 at the time. There were Google searches for naked truth or dare and toy under the age of 8. Needless to say I promptly turned the laptop off and never spoke of it again. Benefit of the doubt. And he just wanted to see newer toys. Either that or he wanted to see 8-year-olds getting penetrated. I think I'm adopted. How can I tell? Son. You're adopted. Really? Yeah. They're picking you up in about an hour. Pack your things. Ducking like and subscribe.